2020 meeting. Of 10 minutes to speak. Plats, rezonings, revised master plans, street renamings, and text amendments require a public hearing. And once the public hearing is completed, Planning Commission members will deliberate and render their decision. Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in any petitioner's request are required to recuse themselves. The members of the Planning Commission are Frank Cook, Chairman, who's absent tonight; Ann Clemens, yours truly, Vice Chairman; Mr. Buddy Harwick, who's absent; Mr. Cruz Reeves, who's present; Mr. Reginald Hawkins is with us; Mr. Reg Mantooth is with us; Reggie Dunn is with us; Mr. James Reed is here; Kippy Tate so far is not with us. The members of the Planning Control staff are Tommy Tyson, James Center, and Ms. Tanya Ingram. Members and petitioners are requested to please speak directly into the microphone. The minutes are recorded for legal purposes, and this is the only way to accurately pick up the audio. So tonight, we have 6 members present, and it takes 5 votes to pass a motion. Because of the number of board members present, if you would like to delay your request, please let us know when your request is announced. Let's have a motion to accept the minutes unless there are any corrections.
I motion we
Review the
accept
minutes.
I motion we accept the minutes.
It's moved that the minutes be accepted. Any?
Second.
All right, moved and properly second that the minutes be accepted and approved. We'll move on now, to Mr. Tyson. Is there any change to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
All right.
The first item tonight is presented by Pilgrim Engineering on behalf of Goodwin Building Company Incorporated. It's a request for final approval of Summerhill Plat Number 11, located on Albion Drive, approximately 80 feet north of Berrydale Drive. It's a PUD district.
I'm Pep Pilgreen with Pilgreen Engineering. This is final plat for a portion of Summerhill. It's part of our original overall development, nothing different than what we proposed in the beginning.
All right. Any members of the commission have any questions for Mr. Pilgrim? Is there anyone in the audience has any questions or comments?
Motion to approve.
All right. It's moved and properly second. All those in favor? The
Thank
motion
you.
passes.
Next item is by Gonzalez Strength and Associates, Inc., on behalf of Paul R. Norris, Jr., requesting final approval of Norris Subdivision Plat Number 2 on the south side of Vaughn Road, some 185 feet east of Old Orchard Lane. It's a B4 zoning district.
Yes, my name is Daniel Allen. I'm with Gonzalez Strength and Associates, and we have plat number 2 of North Subdivision. It's currently 2 lots. We're re-subdividing into 1 lot plus a piece of acreage that was not originally part of the original North Subdivision.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the?
Yes, I have a question. Is this some more land that's being added to what you already have approved, or what?
No, it's the same land the owners always had. We've just we're adding the acreage part into lot 1 and moving the lot line between lot 1 and 2.
So it was never approved for that, for what you're saying then? Because we've had this, at least a couple of months ago, we had a public hearing on it, and they've already got the signs up for the service station, right?
That's correct. That's correct. That's right.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
You're right, the engineering plans was approved.
Development
ago.
plan,
Oh, that was a development plan?
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Any other questions from the commission? Does the audience have any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Moved and properly second. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you all.
The next item is presented by ECE Survey and Design LLC on behalf of Tom Cruz. It's a request for final approval of North Chase Plat Number 5 on the south side of North Chase Boulevard, 310 feet south of Northern Boulevard. It's a M1 district.
My name is Thomas Cruz, requesting final approval of North Chase Plat Number 5.
Any questions from the commission? Any questions or comments from the audience? Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposition? It's moved and properly second. Your motion passes.
Thank you.
The next item is presented by Jose Hernandez on his own behalf, requesting to rezone one lot at 3325 Patrick Road from R60S to B2.
Please present your case.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You
Yes,
may-
my name is Jose Hernandez, and I just need to know if it's possible to have.
Just a moment, sir. We can't hear you. Take your mask off.
My name is Jose Hernandez. I just want to make my property commercial because I want a small business there.
I got a couple of questions. And I see you for auto sales, right?
Yeah.
What is the big metal building that you already have on that property?
Excuse me?
Yeah, you got a big metal building already sitting there. I'd like to know what that is.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, you have a house sitting there. And behind that house, you have like almost a two-story metal building. I want to know what is that?
My building.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to try to clean my cars, to do something like this. If I don't have, I do it because if I don't have it that, well, I'm going to do another things,
I mean,
maybe personal.
Because I actually went and took a look, and I know that, matter of fact, you have probably about 7, 8 cars already there, so basically you're already selling cars.
Yes, I sell in the year maybe 20, 22 sometimes. I don't have a big business. I hope it, but not now. I have maybe I'm going to have it there 10, 7, depend how is my business.
Okay, so basically, how would your neighbors feel about you selling cars right there? I mean, you're right there on the corner. You're right there on the corner. I think it's Birmingham Highway and Patrick Road right there. How have you talked with the neighbors?
Yeah, I talk with my neighbor. They say it's no problem with me.
They don't have a problem.
They don't matter because we are, they are friendly and I am too. They say no problem, I keep clean my place and nothing happened because they know me and they know I don't want to have a problem over there.
So when you build that, and just questions, because I'd like to know, when you build that big metal building, I mean, you did get a building permit, correct?
Yes, this is the first time I just have a rent to own, but I have some money from the government for help, and I say it's better to pay because I don't want to lose the building, and I have this money, I pay off my building because it's just it's not nothing real expense. It's just a building. It's a carport building.
It's a carport?
Carport, yeah.
Yeah, it look more like a
No,
big storage building. to
No,
me.
I don't have this kind of money. I just,
I actually went and took a look now.
Looks
So
pretty
you're
good.
telling me it's a carport, but I
Thank you.
know the difference between a building and a carport, and that is a building. No question in my mind. Matter of fact, you want to see the picture of it? Because I actually took a picture. It's a big red building,
Yeah.
and it's almost like 2 stories. And that's my question, because I know it's almost like a commercial building, and that's why I asked the question, did you get a building permit? Because it's almost like a commercial building.
yeah, but it's just a carport.
Well, that's my district, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna make a motion that we deny. Because that's my district, and I feel like he kind of went around the system and built a building there without going through the proper channels. So I'm gonna make a motion that we deny this request, Madam Chair.
All right, let me first,
Wait a
before we
minute.
call for that motion, let me first see if there are any other comments.
Yes.
We're not ready for a motion yet. Do you live in that house?
Excuse me?
Do you live in that house?
No, I have my
Does
home.
anybody live in that house?
No, I have my home.
Is anybody gonna live in it?
No, nobody lived there. I just,
But that is a tall structural steel building back there. I wouldn't say it's 2-story, but it is tall.
yes. Well, one
You
of the
gonna
stories,
work on cars back there? Are you gonna work on cars back there?
yes, that's what I'm gonna do, clean the car, make the details and stuff like this. Nothing bigger. I don't want a business over there just for my cars. Just for my car, clean it up, maybe, I don't know, a little repair in the car, a tire or something like this, but nothing bigger. Nothing bigger because anyway I buy the car on the auction, maybe they need something, but they don't need everything.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I guess this question is to the staff. Does this fall within the parameters of the comprehensive 2040 plan?
That's what I'm looking at, the note.
It does, yes.
Huh?
It does, yes.
It does?
Mr. Smith, you want to say something?
I can pull this down. You asked the question if it was consistent with the comprehensive plan that y'all just adopted.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this proposed rezoning request is not consistent with the comprehensive plan that we just adopted and would in fact be inappropriate for this location. And as you got in your packet on the following page, for the future land use map, if you'll just look at that following page, which is page 4A, but it's actually page number 74 of the comp plan. And if you'll look down on the bottom left, it says that these proposed future uses are the only intended uses that are recommended. So the primary uses would be single-family residential, large lot, which is what you see mostly out there, single-family residential, large lot, agriculture, parks and open space, and renewable generation, solar. So this would not fit within that parameter based on the comprehensive plan and wouldn't be consistent.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You do know that you're not supposed to be selling cars until you do understand that you're not supposed to be selling cars until this is.
Yes, I understand that. That's what I
You say he has a building.
ask you to help me because I am really small business. Maybe, if I have this place, I don't have to pay in another place for rent because even I just was paying $1,200 and it's too much to me. You know, if I get this property to me, it's gonna be much better. Maybe I can keep on business for more time, try.
I mean, we understand that, and, you know, we understand that you're trying to make money. I mean, we understand that, but, you know, there are things that you have to go by. You know, there are ordinances and regulations you have to go. Okay, but that's, I guess I'm digressing. Okay.
All right, any other comments from the commission or any comments from the audience? Hearing none, it's open for motion.
I motion to deny.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, the motion has been denied.
I need a vote.
Vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor of denying the motion? Sorry, sir, the motion has been denied.
Thank you very much.
The next item is by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of Henry Franklin Thomas III, requesting final approval of Hyundai Crossing Plat Number 1 on the east side of Norman Bridge Road, across from the east end of Hyundai Boulevard in a B2Q district.
Good evening. I'm Kenneth White, Jr. with Flowers and White, representing Frank Thomas. If this looks familiar, we did a final plat request at this general location. This request just simply reorients the lot. It makes it more north-south oriented instead of the east and west. The client wanted to have more road frontage on 331. So that's the reason for this item.
All right.
Any questions?
For the presentation, are there any questions, comments from the commission?
KJ, is that
Yeah.
road still going to extend?
Rich, I'm sorry, what was that?
Is the road still going to extend from Hyundai Boulevard?
Yeah. Yeah, that stays the same, Reg. It actually just got shorter, but yeah, the access to Lot 1 will be from Hyundai Crossing Way. And there's also, that's another reason why we extended it to the north. We will have a right-in, right-out on the north side of that lot.
Okay.
So,
Any other questions, comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and properly second. All those in favor?
thank you.
Motion passes.
The next item is by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of Lee Warren. It's a request for final approval of Little Greystone Plat Number 1A on the southernmost end of Greystone Drive in a Ag 1 district.
Good evening, Brad Flowers, Flowers and White. I hope it's all right if I take this off to speak.
Sure.
All right, so what we've got is Little Greystone Plat 1A. It's on the south end of Greystone Drive as it sits. Mr. Warren is in possession of what is currently Lot 1 and Lot 3, which he has got two houses. One used to be the mother-in-law's, but what he's doing is selling one of the houses to, if I'm not mistaken, his daughter and her husband. So anyway, what he's trying to do right here is replat those lots, and he's creating a third lot, which is showing up as 3B right here, if you're familiar with the property. That's the low area. As you're going down the interstate, it floods as it comes out of Henley Hedge and some of that area and then runs up under the interstate. So that lot 3B is basically where the ditch runs out of Henley Hedge and goes across the interstate. So everything there to the south is just basically open pasture, but he just wanted to separate that so it wouldn't be on anybody's mortgage since it's all flood and low. So that's the reason for the plat, basically to sell the house that's on the south side right there. He still lives in the northern one, and then separate where you can see that tree line coming across on the arc down on the bottom southeast side right there. That's where it comes out of Henley Hedge. So that's the lot 3B. So he's just asking to replat that and add that one lot.
All right, are there any questions or comments from the commission? Cruz?
This lot 3B, and you might have said it, but the acoustics are so bad in it. Where's the access to 3B? Is that landlocked?
On the face of the plat, if you look at it, there's a private access easement that comes off of Greystone Drive and goes down the lot line. on the face of the plat. On what you've got, actually come southeasterly off of Greystone Drive, and then goes over to it. But what you've got on that, I believe it was called out as a 10. We have modified that to a 20 for what will be recorded. So we have a 20-foot private access easement coming off of Greystone on a southeasterly angle across 1A and going to Lot 3B.
Down the southern boundary of the lot.
It is on the northern, well, can you go back to the plat real quick, sir? All right, so where 1A and 3A meet right there at the top of the screen, there is an access easement that runs down right there, and it ends up going into Lot 3B. It runs along the property line between 3A and 1A. We've widened it out. That one shows a 10, but we widened it out to a 20, so that's their access point. We had to put a utility easement on it from Montgomery Waterworks to get, not a utility, but a water easement to get water over there to it.
Gotcha.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and properly second. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The next item is by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of David Robinson, requesting final approval of O'Ruin LLC Plat Number 1 on the northwest corner of Adams Avenue and Hall Street in an M1 district.
All right, so what we've got right here is a plat that y'all had previously seen and approved, but it had to be modified slightly. This was brought to you back last year at some point in time. It was under a different name at that point in time, but what we've done on this one, the Lot 1 that is there was approved previously to replat 2 lots into one for a commercial building that is being built right now. Lot 2 was the remainder that went all the way down to Adams Avenue, but in the development of Lot 1, they required a a fire line connection, and going into Adams was just too difficult based on utilities and other things. So what we did with Waterworks was take a strip out to Hall Street and make a connection onto Hall Street to be able to service the building that's on Lot 1. In doing so, we had to take that strip and include it with Lot 1, so we had to replat Lot 2 to take it out of it. So anyway, the reason for the plat is nothing more than to add that frontage for the fire line into Lot 1 to be in compliance with Waterworks.
Any other questions or comments? Anything from the audience? Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Is there a second? Moved and properly second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
The next item by Flowers and White Engineering on behalf of Huntington College is a request to rezone property at the southeast corner of South Lawrence Street and Julia Street from B2 and M1 to M1.
Good evening. I'm Kenneth White again, representing Huntington College. This is the tract of land, as you see, on the southeast corner of Lawrence and Julia Street there. We have M1 zoning on the east side, north side, and southeast side of the property, and B2 on the property, subject property. And we're just, Huntington just simply wanted to have the M1 zoning, clean it up, and have M1 zoning on the entire tract of land. And that's the reason for this request.
You know what's coming next?
Sir?
I said, you know what's coming next? Does that come within the comprehensive 2040?
No, it recommends, I can do it, it's in here. I think it recommends a traditional neighborhood. Is that right? I mean, it's, you want to...
Traditional neighborhood use is what it says.
This one right here in particular, again, based on the future land use mapping and character type in the comp plan, this one will likely be okay so long as Huntington follows the secondary uses that are recommended in the comprehensive plan, which is going to be on the second page that you all have. And if you look down at those secondary uses, the primary uses are single-family residential, small lot, middle missing housing, duplex, triplex, garden homes, attached townhomes, and then the secondary uses is where this one would probably be okay, where it says small format commercial, civic, institutional, parks, and open space. And I have a special note here, again, so long as they follow that secondary uses and they strictly follow the building blocks that are also listed to the far right on that particular page, talking about the height, the building form, building setback, streets, transportation, parking, and open space. Based on that, I mean, of course, I mean, would love to know exactly what it is that they would like to do, but we do understand that the light industrial zoning designation has a lot of the same uses that are allowed in the B2 business designation. So that's the only thing that makes this, probably okay to move forward with.
Yeah, I would think that. I'd like to add, the Janetta ditch runs through there, so I think that's a good boundary between the residential houses and south of here. And there's there's metal mini storage to our north. So I would feel, personally, I feel like this is a good M1 use for this site.
Do you mind stipulating that it's going to be within the parameters of the comprehensive plan?
I don't know if there's any contracts on the property right now. Again, it was understood that we were going to ask for an M1 use and have any of the uses available in that M1 designation. Do you have that? Do you have those uses again? That is in the sec.
Yeah, it's on
See that?
It's on in the agenda.
For M1, yes.
M1 uses? I got M1 uses.
Is that small format commercial? Is that what that is? Civic, institutional. Is that what you're reading right here? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I was referencing the table from the comp plan, but
Yeah.
and I know y'all are not going to have this zoning ordinance document right in front of you, but I always bring it with me to the meetings. But in the zoning ordinance document, it says for M1, the only things that are permitted in M1 is light industrial operations not obnoxious, offensive, or detrimental to the neighborhood property by reason of dust, smoke, vibration, noise, odor, or effluence. So those types of things that would be like a heavy industrial use would not be allowed in this particular location. So, and I think that M1 light industrial designation is a little misleading on what it actually is compared to the M1 heavy industrial zoning designation, and that's one of the many things that needs to be corrected and updated about the zoning ordinance itself. But it also says, including the following types of businesses or industry: ice cream plants and creameries, cold storage plants, ice plants, bottling and central distribution plants, baking plants, textile mills, dyeing plants, warehouses, large dry cleaners and laundries, trucking terminals, and similar types, quarters and watchmen. And the other item that is allowed in M1 is any use permitted in the B2, the business zoning district, which that one allows, your typical businesses like stores and general merchandise, apparel, those types of businesses. And it also allows for hotels and outdoor advertising structures. So the only issue that I would see with that designation is would this be appropriate for, it says bottling and central distribution plants, baking plants, textile mills. That's just one thing to consider, and I think this one is asking for, it's asking to go from B1 or B2 to M1?
B2.
Okay, so from B2 to M1. I think this would be okay, but we'll leave that decision up to y'all whether or not you want to allow it to be rezoned or remain the way that it is.
So you have no idea, and you're not able to disclose at all what this is going to be?
I'm not privy to that.
You don't know?
Like I said, I don't know if there's any contracts on the property. Again, I was just asked by Huntington to rezone it, basically just clean up their lot to make it all M1. That's what I was asked to do.
Any other questions from the commission?
Madam Chairman, I don't mind recommending passing it, but as long as they stay within the comprehensive plan and not vary out to make a truck terminal.
Is there any way that we can make that note?
The comprehensive plan where, there's a traditional neighborhood.
Right.
But
Well, there's secondary uses also.
yeah, I guess, but I don't know what they have in store for the site, but like I said, I like to have the uses for the M1 as he's read to you as it is in the zoning ordinance.
Right.
But the thing about it is, we don't mind rezoning it, but have an idea what we rezone it for, or have an idea of what's coming there. And you don't have any idea, so I would say, recommend it as long as it stays within the traditional 2040 comprehensive plan.
Exactly.
I got a question, and maybe more for you. This property is zone B2, but you're saying in the comprehensive plan that it should be traditional neighborhood.
Yes.
Why is that?
Largely because of the area that it's actually in.
All that around it is office space, except for the south, houses to the south.
Yeah, and this, to be totally and perfectly honest, the consultants did have a little bit of a problem with this area because it is kind of a hodgepodge of a lot of different uses that are in there. But there is some, the grid street pattern, the houses that are still there, that really is a traditional neighborhood pattern that's already there. But it does have a mix of commercial businesses and some light industrial type businesses, but there's nothing that's there that's light industrial that's obnoxious or anything like that. So, I would say that as long as it stays in that type of character, that it would be okay. But again, if you go with an M1, then they would be able to do anything that's listed in the zoning ordinance designations for M1, and which right now everything that's B2 is allowed in M1, but there are some heavier type businesses that are allowed in the M1 designation that's not in the B2. So that's the risk that you run if you so choose and approve the recommendation to rezone it from B2 to M1. I do have a little bit of a trepidation about it because I don't know exactly what it is, and I can see where y'all's point of view is coming from when you don't know, and that does cause you to pause a little bit on going with it. So that's my only issue. Now, if we could be assured that Huntington College was going to keep it, we know that everything that Huntington does is going to be, grade A, top quality. But are they intending to sell the property, or you just don't know?
I don't know. It's like they asked us to, again, clean it up and see we have M1 to the south, east, and to the east, and across the street. And we just thought it would be a better use for, for Huntington at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. You've got M1 to the east, M1 to the south. So I mean, even if you didn't rezone this, you still got M1 right there next to it.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and as he stated, there is a small slither of this property that's M1 right now, which I don't quite know how that came to be like that, but that's what the zoning designation says.
There's a gentleman behind you, and it seems like he has something to share.
Okay. My name is Brady McKinnon. I own the property adjacent to the piece there. These gentlemen don't know it, but I've been in talking to Huntington about purchasing the land. I own a crematorium and a funeral home. All of it is M1. I'm buying that whole block. That's my building directly across the street on the corner right there of Julia and McDonald. I'm purchasing it to rebuild a 25,000 square foot building there. And actually, all of it is M1. The reason I need it to be M1 is because of the machine that I have to do the cremations with. I can actually build the building and put the office part on B2, and then the corner that I'm getting from the Abrahams actually is M1 already. I can just hang that part of the machine, but we just want to get the whole thing rezoned to M1, to if whatever we get ready to put in there. If you ride by, we keep our stuff well manicured. We real active in the neighborhood. Even a lot of crime stuff that uncapping, we got cameras all around the building. Actually, it done help solve a lot of crime. So it wouldn't be nothing that actually would bring down the value of the neighborhood.
Thank you for sharing.
Is it under contract?
Sir,
Is it under contract?
I can't understand you.
Is it under contract for you to buy it?
No. It's just based upon if we be able to get it rezoned. These gentlemen don't know nothing about it. They didn't know nothing about it. I just came just to see was it was going to get rezoned or not.
What kind
And
of business you got?
I see since y'all wanted to know what was going there, and that's why I just wanted to step forward. They don't even know.
Right.
What kind of business you got over there? What kind of business?
What do you know?
I'm a little hard of hearing.
What kind of business do you have?
It's a funeral home and crematorium.
Oh, yeah.
It's Magnolia Cremation and
Magnolia,
Funeral Service.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there on the corner there.
Yeah, you're on McDonald.
Yeah, 'cause actually everything is M1 all around there.
That's it.
And actually PH&J got their building for sale, and actually I was gonna purchase their building, but it's just too much work to go in there to change their building over to a funeral home versus just go ahead and build one.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So crematorium, I'm assuming, is allowed in M1? Is that,
Yes,
not
It is.
So that's
It
the
is.
reason.
All right. Does that help?
And
Very much so.
All right.
Are
Very
you the
good.
one that presented this a couple of years ago? And when you found out there that drainage culvert went through there, you withdrew it?
I don't believe I have done it, Brad. Do you remember anything on this?
Okay. Somebody did a couple of years ago when they realized it was a drainage ditch through
No,
there.
I know it's a lot of in the flood.
covered.
There's probably some wetlands on the site, and it's Janetta
Yeah, we
ditch on the
drew it.
south side, yeah. No, I haven't come together with this project before.
I'm really torn on this one.
All right. There's 6 members present. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Could we add to the motion to approve that under that understanding that it's going to be a crematorium? I mean,
Why don't you make the motion and you second the motion, Reggie? You make the motion, James.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve with the understanding that that's what the property is going to be used for, sold to him, and that's what the...
Can you lower your mask when you talk? I can't hear you. I can't understand you.
I said, I make a motion to approve with the understanding that it's going to be used for the crematorium, the funeral home is going to buy it and use for that.
Wants it qualified.
It's not the volume. You need to be clear.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. My mistake then.
I don't know what he said.
I heard what he said. He wanted with the understanding that the crematory is going to use that property for such use.
With the understanding that he's going to
just
buy it
wants-
from Huntington and use it for what he just described to us for.
And if for some reason the contract falls through, we'll revert back to what it is now?
Yes.
No, it
Yes.
won't. No, it won't.
So,
Huh?
It will not.
see, that's why I need to clear that, you know.
If it gets rezoned and city council passes it, they would have to go through the whole rezoning process again to get it changed to anything else.
Change from B2 M1 to something else, Tanya?
No, if this gets approved
Yes.
for the M1Q,
Yes.
strictly
So-
for the
So you're
crematorium,
qualifying it, yes.
it's done. It doesn't revert back if the contract falls through.
So if, say, Mr. Brady, the contract falls through, whatever, they can only sell it to a crematorium, is that what I understand?
Yes.
I'm not sure. if-
Fuzz, on my part, this is only.
Come back up to the mic, please.
On my part, because this is something that we've been actually looking at this property before when Judge James Reese had it. And he actually donated and gave it to Huntington. So we've been looking at this property, but actually at the time that Gene Reese had, he was asking too much for it. But Fuzz, is we gonna purchase it? We gonna purchase it, we just actually, if it get approved, the bank, that's what the bank just waiting on.
So you already have had this conversation?
Ma'am?
You've already had this conversation with Huntington?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. These gentlemen don't know it.
So the deal is in the works, is that what you're saying?
That's the only thing we're waiting on. If this passes by, we're gonna close next week.
Got you. Okay. All right. Again, yes. All right.
Yeah.
He's going to verify something and then, thank you, sir.
Now, Tanya, what you're saying is, hypothetically, if that deal falls through, then would it revert back to B2?
No.
Or it'll still be M1?
It will still be M1 with this restriction, so the only thing you can do is use it for this.
Unless they brought it back to us and then
Right.
start the process over.
Right.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
If the sale does not go through, can you qualify it to where it can go back to any B2 use?
They have to come back.
You would have to go back through the rezoning process.
It's kind of a tough, puts us
Whether
in
you
a-
want to come back next month?
I'm sorry, sir, what was
Do
that?
you want to come back next month? Just clarify everything and come back next month?
They want to qualify for M1, B2, M1 crematorium. You got to go through the process to rezone. If the sale were to go south, would y'all rezone it back to a B2? I guess that's the question.
I see no problem. I see no problem with that.
I don't either. I don't.
I mean, that's the use now, but did you follow me? I'm trying to represent my client, and I'm
Right.
sure every intention is going to go through. Believe me, I do, but for some reason it doesn't, then they can only sell that to a crematorium. You see my point? So I want to make sure that, I don't put my client in a bad position.
Well, I think if you make that decision and we do rezone it to M1 and that deal fall through, I think if they come back and they tell us exactly what it was that they did, I don't think we'd have a problem with going back to B2 with it.
Can I confirm that real quick with my client? I'm so sorry. Just
No
kinda-
problem.
Thankfully, this is the last one.
Can you have the M1Q, if it doesn't kind of have like a reversionary clause where it can go back to a,
No, once it's rezoned, you have to go back through the rezoning process.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Which should not be a problem.
It's a lesser zoning, so I would think you're going in the right direction, but can I get something like a verbal or something on the record that for some reason if it falls through, there's no issue reverting it back to a B2?
I mean, basically, that's just what we said, that
Yeah.
we really wouldn't see a problem with doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Now, I might not be here whenever you decide to come back. And the other
Tanya
person
has it on
sitting
the
here
record.
might not feel that way, so
But
we
it's in the
can't-
record.
Yes,
Tanya has it on the
It's
record.
of record? I mean, is that?
It's being
It's in the
recorded.
minutes right now?
But these people may not be here when that
I know.
happens.
Well, we would know pretty soon if it,
Okay.
you know, right, right, Frank?
Yeah.
You got enough time.
Brady, when do you plan on closing? As soon as you walk in here, you're gonna? Okay. He says as soon as I hear, he's gonna call you. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I think he's okay with it. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, all right. I got it, Frank. Good. Yeah. All right. So, sorry, that's a new one for me. Based on him, he sees be okay. I think we're all on the same page. I have full confidence that Brady's going to buy the property, but again, I didn't want to have a. You see my point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You see my point.
Yeah,
so,
you're in the
yeah.
middle. Yeah,
So-
you're in the middle.
Absolutely. Mr. James Reed, would you please restate the motion?
I make a motion that we approve with the stipulation that it's going to be the funeral home, complete the sale, and for some reason, if that falls through, he can bring it back, and we'll start the process.
And
to
it will be
whatever we want.
rezoned again.
Yeah.
Is there a second to that motion?
We do that?
All right, it's moving properly second. Mr. Reggie Hawkins just seconded the motion. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor?
Thank y'all. I understand the city council has to do it, but I appreciate y'all's work on that. Yep.
We thank you for your openness. Thank you.
Yeah.
Meeting is adjourned.
That's what they paid the big money.